On your screen, my name is VINCENT FORGOR. Of course, I have full house here. Daniel is here with us. Osman is also here. And of course, Konya Robert is also here. It's time for Sports Premier. Right from this time till 6 p.m. It's going to be sporting stories. We're going to discuss foreign stories, and also we are going to delve much deeper into our local stories. So wherever you find yourself, be with us this evening. Your contributions are always welcome. And of course, this is the WhatsApp number that you can send your contributions on, and I'll take my time to read it for you. Of course, Robert will do that for you. 0591228584. 0591228584. Those of you complaining about our channel being off on the digital, it is back. So you can check. Of course, it is back. Moana Moka say your channel not atiko or digital no so no me bacho say ababak enti ubenya Globe TV arepa na me complaints a man for mo channel not atiko mo channel not atiko ye nyanhwe e wo hini o atiko mo nyaman ne dey tells you say a man for in fact you are making us number one, and of course e basa na yen so no ye ni age na yen so edam ase say abrebia no mo ana moma yen eye number one. Ye kwatimu a enye ye wa wo fa kon wa wo hwemi bia ne ye ntimi ngwati you are our favorite. Nti Nyankopon ka wona abrebia no tokoso na hwe Globe TV. Ye obi a Globe TV won sesa na da abrebia haya Yeah, the master pa. Here's the channel number back or digital also. And yeah, manya no. And not game or no, obi chiremu hanya bianhwe, obi krabo as bossy ye because na channel na article. Mamma my video for moments sabin kum so hano akwaba. Na yense jumadi no ase. We are mako the Lone Ranger. Na menon so ayena part to pa ewo ho. Me dini Vincent Forgor. Mame ko Danny Njai. Danny akwaba. And you want to say? Yankupon domains more than pa.
Fantastic. Yes.
Say basketball first quarter.
Oh, yeah.
The results now. You see, this is in the same man as 16-7. Sir.
I don't know, say park near come up and your park has some results.
Your ball first to give ahead at 9. Or Pachawa and Mujano.
Must see. Or Bano, Padivia Catano.
Son, not here. You have so many issues, and they're even on the Yimbira because I mean, you're being a solid discussion.
Oh, yes, a lot. Now, so we check a lot of issues. Manchester United, I'm Maroon Cry admit to say, look, I was so judging. Yeah, I had dream. Check Atalanta, led by Gianpiero Gasperini, you know, making it back to back 5 times. You know, there's something interesting, and a lot. Liverpool, Arnold, and then Roberts man make a certain milestone in their career. A lot of stories, Vincent. A lot of stories.
In fact, what a mess about Hobium. Osman Akwaba.
Majusura.
At the same.
Yamiadum now one way.
Yankupon domains more than pa.
Your body, I say. Sir, I feel be a sign.
Pa.
Yeah, I feel be a sign. Pa. Say, it's your mom. Na both face 2B, you know. I thought Yana, ye coho, warm kakra. I got trouble. But say, I'm way of fool, we are sepa, and one. So, me flew a support. Only be that. One say, I'm so much as someone on me, sir. Or not to me, finish Cassia, be home, and Madame support, sir. But who's well, it's ye? Yeah, wow, Bompasi and Lusu. But I won't ban number B. None of we have a space because of Munti. What do I say?
Someone more power.
I'm minimum power. Oh, from Papa.
Yeah, bah, or Bompers on say yes. Bones there or more banner say, yes, sympathy be.
I say any air crack. Fernando Mene, then is a master. We are sure say, oh, had it because they will eat. Oh, but oh, bah, on pie bringing and say, Munus. But some of their body are not say, well, it's you. A hard drink. Now, and Osman, everything for. Yeah, Vincent, the bedding commotion upon a home common. Quite a fast one, young football, the bay, quite a fast a bit giant interest, away on football, I'm on football engine, because maybe interest will be on Ghana, a young call for being a support manipulated area. No, in Tinia, on a bay years, in Sinami, say, I was here catching pinning for say, be on my year, do know, a year, now your football engine. In Tibet, since 93, I shall say a call a African at 20. A championship on if you was quite a hoodie mokono. Edi him saying kaye bo Africa. Vincent, yana edi a local based players upon eden and a tie free ako. Afui, ye be tournament no. Squad the barbon na e be on attach. Say under 20 player on attach dia Vincent. Na e ade say as pa.
That youngster no on attach.
Yes, because Mr. You experience be and I see we am fanning the young fanning Franco. But a hard 20 under 20 years player. A hard.
All right, Osman, no, Robert.
Then
Akwaba.
Yeah.
Before the member on Jenny Edika Horoka.
Oh.
Yes, mono more that kind of idea say. If you move a dear Tika Crack and you can almost have come home, no more Joko. This is a moment here.
Isn't on say, new woman say. Who sikani ade acha wasoro koma nkofo acheda
ona betena se mo bia ba
ono oni fie tu be man acha de wo bia no de man ade ko
sa no motie
sa na abrabode te edu brunya sikani nko obi fie nkoma na afihia pa nkofo ne ba na hode afihia pa nsemmere no eduru sala sikafo nko barka da sala otifie na nkofo aba okum na ntwi na otwetwa bia mom enti ba bia wo ho sa na te wa mobra yi ba ona otar posters and it's just as it is. Now, I want to say Daniel and I are champions, of course. We
sir, I bet you Pretuman was
because all the nego. We know. Oh, a good. Me some of them more.
Say me and sending and do because I only didn't know as I was.
No, but as I only as I was in too much. Oh, dear, you go. Move conference league. I'm more some qualified Champions League. we are between Europa and Champions League. So to ball economy in the nature, Aboko ko Europa, but Champions League. So these are some of the things you should be looking at. Yes.
We are or committee.
Obetim kwa kwa catch am say some conference no.
Oni bomu aguze zama. I'm telling you. Me ni.
Oh, you know. Oboko kwa say o hen players in the level na. Onko be sere UEFA na o bi nko na onu mum sanka conference o. Ade a say coach su between Europa and Champions. Kedi kwa say UEFA dey san komo no kraba. Because onko body eso no. Oko say ko yibi bra to body there. Yeah, you need this. Listen, you bedding come up here. Now, Xabi Alonso and Opane didn't on come. He's a guy. Madrid for not following right from 2014. Our free club numko join Bayern Munich sa babisine. And said the Mekan and Opane. He's a gamble and our mobile hesse ebefa. Said the Senedins done the NFI or Babe Juma de Momo. They are hoping say we so ebekos. But what should they expect? Similarities between system and all born honey the other have players no I will be here to operate and make the system work no which of them will be important to him now the Henson also called make his signings no the Madrid for they will make 3 signings before say Yako Club World Championship ntini nyina ye normal he will take over immediately nti yensa menya stop gap manager bia say onko Club World Cup mrana Xavi and say Xabi Alonso abada bi enya sa na be he's just coming in to take over go to the Club World Championship and then use that as a pre-season now or the next season now face ya hwese de beko tinsampi aneba
Xavi Hernandez, former player of Barcelona, be manager and Xabi Alonso, former player of Madrid, Eba be Juma Edema Madrid, Ebe fa na 2 different people and 2 different ideologies. And to be a way amfa be a way befa but the ode bano Robert and na anopana menu otwe Darren the ode bano it's not the style of Madrid, it's not the kind of Madrid unless a Madrid they catch here and say they want to totally make an overhaul of or move a Ghanaian free dynasty being system be and moving to something just as Chelsea did under Abramovich. You wouldn't have seen Nico Jackson and Chukwemeka, you wouldn't have seen that. So they are saying.
Say Pelamin Kamara.
So what you say? Nka who be that? I say Mike Pendes. Esogu.
Say Krano.
Ni akwa fa different players be.
Asante Koroko omfa samba ona nsi.
So what you say?
Yes sir. Chelsea forever.
And that is under Abramovich. On to our players no. But Abramovich no call you know, America for no be far team no. One say ne o team no. The Chelsea go to players here akwala no to no. Enti bia na Alonso so ba be that kind of Liverpool in Florent Vets money that kind of ball no na fi Barca chiwa no wa show be 35. Isn't
look obiawo ideology or do back team no. And sometimes the team's ideas etimi ma also sound Sam. Don't forget say Alonso no Oliver Kusin Krano, he has used different systems throughout the stay in our corner, but just that the 3-back is the most dominant. But we're using different systems and also Aboa Club. But it depends on whether he's going to get those qualities now we hear in the system for it to work. Madrid for I don't think there's a coach Banas or about 3-back no mujit treble or mumpe. What I say? So it just depends on how he's going to succeed, whether or not about this system or that system. I think it all boils down to say he needs to succeed at the club. So and yes, I want 3 months and I name Omujano Kwamanako.
All right. So stay with us. Maybe 0591228584. I know a WhatsApp message line. Fabra ma yankin kan emo. Jeffas Mr. any peak houses at Darma. Na yele jumadi ebro. Mema Daniel Asha sie na Marco Robert Nchen. But the attention and say obeto do no one ma. To Jeffas Mr. any peak houses nanonom. And I'm saying no, any draw. Abribia, a boy mountain, as I bema. Waba say, and we are saying, my wafa. A drona, Obano major fast mission peak. Make us said him, we are here. Near Tin and say, Waba no abribia no. Oh, and Zuvita egu. White ado cropa. Ama odiano. If I move bone to crew. And Tibeman hunso ba, enyina. Ectopic pregnancy ewo chese e madodo na so ofa afura na so abubu enti abre bia no yɛse wɔ yɛbaifoɔ ɛna yɛmpɛ ni mahwɛ ɛwɔ fie hɔ aware no kwa no yɛtwe na se akonwa ɛyi na firi akɔfo ɔba foforɔ ba betena so ɛnam so wɔntimi nwo waduru agye fast mission pick up maka kyerɛ sɛ yɛnyi wawode yɛntwa wawode ne mfiri hɔ a aduru bɛboa ma ɔnya awɔ agye fast mission pick capsules wobɛwo sɛ sia yi bɛma no nso ɛbɛhyɛ ɔbaa nyensen you see apempi no sɛ awɔ mma wade mu a yɛbi sɛ ma no nko a bɛma bu wɔ hɔ a low sperm count ne ho nso no dɔɔso sɛ mpampa ne mmom nkwabɔ na ɛwɔ mu no ano nyɛ den ntentimi hwɛ ɔba no nyensen woyɛ a ɛne ne ho nso bɛ bucket ma sɛ sia yi bibia nim aho zero sperm count kɔna kɔtɔ gye fast mixture ɛne pee capsules ɛbɛboa wo na wagyina ɔna so sɛ bɛma afei no the most important thing ɛnura mehwɛ funny clip bi obi kyerɛ mu a ɔno no wayɛ busy day in day out a wɔdwen kɔ bɛfa so making millions ɛyɛ yi no obi nso ɛpɛ kɔ bɛfa so last in bed kɔtɔ gye fast mixture mesrɛ kɔtɔ duro kyɛ wɔn mpa so wɔba no mpɛ sɛ petere yɛ na seconds na ho asan wɔn mpɛ saa deɛ no enti deɛ ɛbɛboa wo ɛne sɛ onom gye fast mixture ne pee capsules na watima yɛ adwuma wɔ mpa so yie paa sɛ wantima nya adwuma wɔ mpa so a abere bia na yɛbu sɛ wo deɛ yɛka mmɛma wo nka ho bi ɔba no bu sɛ ne nua baa ɛna yɛwo a wo ne da mpa so ɔmfa wo nyɛ hwee adeɛ kyea wo kasa wɔ mfiw ɛne wo kyɛnse a yɛtwa aduane to mu no kyɛnse ne yɛ green ne mu aso yɛ red emu baako sɛ yɛsan deɛ na pia aho na twi fam saa na ba wo nkyɛn na wo de na chɔko yɛmfa wo nyɛ hwee wontimi nya adwuma obi nso timi yɛ adwuma no paa nso end product no bibia nim ne sɛ fast mission na bɛboa afei nso no ojo nso na obema mu hyehye wa kɔtɔ gye fast mission ne pee capsules na bɛboa majo nso a wojo nso ɛma obema mu hyehye wo no ebegyae ojo nso a na jo nso mu apai mienu afei nso kra no ɔwɔ problem ɛwɔ ne prostate kɔtɔ gye fast mission ne pee capsules ɛna bɛboa gono a ɛdokoro mmɛma no gye fast bɛtwene nyina pie na bɛma na de ne ho na bibia akoye di ama wo se bema biti gonorrhea abere bia de meka no se oba one no da last no sa ba ndom benani ma hwe oboni baifo ona de ama no dwonso wo kam saa na oboba ne di wo me view biom ene kwa no ba wo pe ba nani ma hwe kra so ona de gono ma no me ka say so na accumulate aho oni we da sa fe na ayi no ho ade a obemom nyina hyehyew aho je fast mission pee capsules ene wodro ona daroma ene ade agudie mu nsemi ye bro me ba jo mesha with Daniel na Mark Robert nkyɛn na many Osman awie sɛ Daniel tete ho kyerɛ wo no yɛbɛhwɛ so many issues Manchester United kamia yɛ sɛ wɔn mo ɛbɔ Europa League they are Thor King Kong Captain America saa kind of menka ne sɛn heroes no superheroes no wɔbɔ league no wadan tatia unnim de ha wo Manchester United pa bo Europa League dani na wuram say United bo Europa League pa omi unbeaten
yeah
minim say I really don't understand dani make me understand omo shada na but obobo league Osman I say we are United fan I'm sure you know what I'm talking about
yes,
na me the crowd there ma hear me time
or even in big games hell be you know
what's up Bilbao be 8
omonwe
mathematically
yeah omo se bi omoda no won se on to tema tia ba be 16 17 no omo bom no 16 17 18 19 20 na be de na berry but omoda 16 17 omienu no omienu skora na apra ko wura mo Europa League final wa ko
90 points ko say onya 40 points
onya 40 points am so na 36 30 bb 39 what do you say and Vincent ono ahwe hu se onwe dia the only way about my fashion trophy no Europa League no ti was oyere no hoye den ebo enti hon de okwa amayere mo abo but when the man coach na ka kire mo say ya anwi bi empeni fortuna say Robert mo ye yi tire mo say enya den ya anwi bi won no sa de yemfa na bring na fan Europa League no so and ano so abo on bebre because ohe bi omo nam na wo ti be ba wo se ne 4 what takili no abeti asa no sorry I say enti me hu ni say omo check points no so mo nwi bi mo no omo chana ahoden na de Europa League ni so na atensa abo am be
obehia west ma die no
yeah so na no kra team o
the bottom line is
what do you say
almost some idea
no the room
yes Vincent a lot of stories then look also say interesting
sure
because this is a season of goalkeepers and man a good goalkeeper to the tournament and trains in Navis, and it tells you the kind of leaders in our football. And I did about why me and they say, what kind of football people? Let's leave the
season of goalkeepers in various leagues. Yes, sir.
Baby,
okay.
One of the worst Egyptians in my whole
What's a brutal even for Napalm demo?
I get in it.
Them and
the hard being you just say. Vice is what it is. Let's move on from there. Now, this is starting from Liverpool Football Club. Now in football, there were three main departments. You have the defensive department, the transitional department, and then the attacking department. Now, coach Bia, our department had done a commerce. Among all these three departments, you know, every coach, our department, I will believe say. So your quality within that department now, you are the team we are formidable. In example, so check Pep Guardiola. Pep was beloved department. Department died Pakuma so at the midfield. In every time, Pep believes say. So your good midfielders and the team are very standard because he believe that the game is played in midfield. Again, so check Hans Fuleka. Where coach Bakwa, the most beloved department I had so any attacking department. It is a great team, a team good attackers. Forget about defense. One more resource. Now talk about Antonio Conte and Jose Mourinho. These are two coaches. They believe say game no move to the defensive sector. That is where their heart is. Into Jose Mourinho will tell you say, "Oh, they were born in a match or they pampe." And these are facts actually clear say. Despite having three main departments in football, every coach or department, I will believe say, when there is quality, he's having the edge to build a very competitive team in the world. Now, say any of this coach about team one, say the quality available, ain't me woman compete here. Well, two things. The first one is say, either so we call the transfer market for quality, and now say, or better alter some players to play in favor of him just to make the team competitive. Now, example. To your point, now Pep Guardiola will say the midfield wasn't functioning. Into unconverted John Stones say Ombe had a lot of role in midfield. Into your point, John Stones was playing more or less as an inverted centre back or operating midfield. And then again, so you can Antonio Conte, or believe say, I love my beloved department to be defense. Into all the time or static strikers. And the reason here say, so what Brand first Lukaku. Ufa boa, upigetin, ebasa, and release pressure from your goalkeeping department, you know. In the reason why Antonio Conte prefers static, robust, target man as strikers near said, a boy to absorb pressure from the opponent. What you can answer Fuleka? The reason why all the time, we consider 5 or 6 near said, or believe say, look, when I have a very good attack, I'm very good to go into checking recent times, or be I say, Hans Flick team need defensively, but I'm found because or share more goals, you know. Now, the story of Jurgen Klopp, Vincent. Klopp a coach Bakwa. Oba Liverpool no. O chere clear say na kuma at the two departments so. Okay. The midfield and the attacking department. In so check the midfield now. He wanted the game to flow very well. No person is style and flow to the extent say everyone will love the style no. Into introduce industrious midfielders on the abstract play. Into Club Liverpool no. The engine of the team first power was the midfield. Fabinho, Hendo, and Wijnaldum. They made sure say they will use distraction, no matter disturbing play, no matter obstruct opponent plans in midfield. Apart from that, Klopp will say to get the best flow in attack, I have to get a sacrificial number 9. Into Bobby Firmino, no, he wasn't a scoring number 9 or a number 9 which must sacrifice it for other players to enjoy. Into the reason why I say wanted to nurture the attack no very well, send some players can get the best from that Vincent. After getting a sacrificial number 9, no, I did about club here say, o create a certain chemistry and the fullbacks no, add a massive role in attack. Into a branch of President Arnold and the Andy Robertson guys back and I say guys ever since our club here mainstay no performance was through year pa and the reason here say or catch them say defensively there I'll get players to complement and cover up for your spaces. But go and help me to get a lot of options in attack because, listen, pen number 10. I want to use it in person as number 10. Into apart from using it in person, no, or also pay creators and add a lot of vibes into obtain for the fullbacks. No? And listen, since our club high, as we speak, these two boys, even upon absence, or my add a lot of numbers, making 60 plus assists in the Premier League as Ababe history. I think since the Premier League, we haven't seen defenders and as a fullbacks or making such mark. No? And I think they've created a very good, omen for themselves. As fullbacks, previously they were known for defensive work. But in the modern game, you must be able to add offensive duties to your game. And these two boys, as we speak, Oma add a lot of attacking vibes. And as we speak, Oma reached a certain aura. And I believe that, look, football is a game of adaptation. So game of adaptation, find a way to find a very good philosophy to work for you perfectly. And I think, from jogging club to Arnold slot, these two boys enjoy a certain moments, and I think that we must give it to them for that perfect numbers. These are defenders, these are players. Say possible movement focus. Let's defend. But club are making sure they have attacking thinking mentality. And as we speak, Oma added for club to win the Champions League and a lot of titles. Then they've added for Arnold to also win the first Premier League title in the facing. It's something interesting for them. But year in year out, listen, the dynasty of club will stay. Coach, I believe you say. So for class can number time in Pebi. Coach, I believe you say I must use high pressing to get results, join club, and I think let's give it to him, and also adding a lot of roles to get the best from the fullbacks, is something interesting. But away from Liverpool, Vincent, you come Manchester United. For now, Ruben Amorim say, "Opeso accept change, Inti, say racism is a Manchester paying for a good option, or sacrificing a job, just for Manchester heritage to stay and then being dominant because Manchester team Bakwa, only a big team. They love to compete at the highest level. Into one side, you to say, oh, by the Nieman Kuyi, and I admit to say, if they can get a different person, he is willing to step down.
Oh,
Vincent, that is where the tangent is as we speak.
Don't you think he's giving up too early?
Vincent, there is a reason for everything.
Yeah.
And the reasons. Oh, but I also have why I think it may be one of the good decisions for him to take.
Won't you advise him to hold on to it?
Listen,
I
can advise him, but this is Manchester United. The results in listen, the pressure will come. But my reasons, I'm going to state it. Right after here, listen.
Alex Ferguson shares in Nkoyo.
Listen, I know. If you begin to lose hope within one,
okay.
Can you make it?
Yeah, no, correct.
Are you getting it? Now, straight into the Manchester stories, Vincent. So, Chucky baby, I'm starting the coaching career, and Vincent. To your point, from last 4 years, he was tagged as part of young coaches now. With time, they could rule world football. Inti, your class final, the likes of, Jabi Alonso. But ever since Amorim making that bold move, from Sporting CP to Manchester United, they move backward. It will make and will make him. By now, say both top class coaches are Amorim Bakon. But as we speak, based on how our teams are going for Amorim, the destiny is something say he must find a way to come good to be part of top class coaches now. You can watch them, and I say pretty say when they become one of them. But go Manchester. There is always a plan. Post Ferguson, no. I believe you say. So open our first 11 games. Next anyone ko yi avesen they tag you say obey failure. Inti check post Ferguson coach by in their first 11 Premier League games. And points are accumulating only 11. Inti tells you say one game be accumulating 1 point. That is something very bad. We'll check a graph now. The points no from par. But I also believe say in football, if your attack cannot bail you out, listen, your defense must bail you out. Now check a graphic way. Check a Manchester United graph done. Where segments are weak defense, weak attack. Into Manchester United, no, they are not good saying attacking. They are not also good when we are defending. And coach Bia Vincent, who build a team, we don't see the chemistry. About seeing attacking, we don't see the chemistry in defending. No, listen, it's something now. You are not heading into a good path. And Amorim, the facts are showing say Manchester cannot attack very well. Manchester cannot defend very well, and he is part of Leicester City, Southampton, and Ipswich Town. Only teams are very poor both in attack and in defense. It tells you say things are not going well. The center cannot hold for Ruben Amorim. But the reason is near Savison. Me say for now. So what check Manchester squad need here. Omu barely average. Omundu Manchester level no. So Manchester in their prime days. Someone present a team Avison and level of moon. And then level of moon. These are Zegzimu cannot make sure say they can lead Manchester attack no. But I also believe say squad nunko ye crampona. Who as a coach no, you must do something to show say you are making headways. Now, over Premier League Avison. It is called the Smart League.
Okay.
The reason why I tell you Premier League as a Smart League near say coaches add newness to their game. Because the newness, I've said, there be a father for a game. No. But apart from say squad name wa Amorim no, on one case as a coach, tactical, I've said, the ideas we have said also upgraded, and I'm coming to list those ideas. The first one, I've said, team here, so we build from the back. You have the advantage. I was say ultimate dictate baby. I was say boneko. But a graphic on your screen. This is Amorim, all built with 7+3.
7+3.
Into 7 players, no. Manchester players are almost within one half.
Okay.
In the best say, I invite opponents say, you not close it down spaces, no. In the check moment way, you can count about 7 Manchester United players within their half. A best say now 3 players on our front, no. Vincent, there's no options to pass the ball to. And where tactical idea, it is very poor from Ruben Amorim. 7+1 days. Ebi our attacking no uses our system no. But it's a moment that who crab one also dictate to be open in the corner. The opponent decide and say for one for her say the baby can counter a presso. And the idea about quoi Amorim must improve, and that's how the Vicent the center can no hold for the future no. Apart from that, so build up in football. Teams prefer the 3-back system.
Okay. And
Amorim is the student of the 3-back system. But idea about when say so build up and the 3-back is very narrow. Narrow as say Vicent check baby and 3 center backs nijina.
Okay.
A bus na yama or high press na. You struggle to find outlets. But check Gianpiero Gasperini. Go and watch Simeone Inzaghi. These are coaches when they are building up for the back three no. Almost spread the white in a bear. Before the pressers can go to Neo Caribono, he can find an option. But even Amorim actually clear said, so both out with the 3-back now, a very narrow side, the opening can put much pressure on you. Also, or make sure I agree with say Ben again will go into a very good way. But apart from that, the poor press for Manchester, we said, high pressing in recent times are very good. But you can put your weight in. Red players near pressing high.
Yeah.
But we said, all pressing on check it. The passing lane, I doubt I pass it on the two. All pressing high, we said, you are trying to frustrate the opponent offensively. But all pressing is not coordinated into spaces for the opponent to pass the ball through. Interba say now, said Bonnie beating the fair transition, everything, expose to team no. And these are all tactical things. I will say, Ruben Amorim improve very well. But apart from that, I also prefer the mid block. Mid block near say, over limit open to Finfin. Now check the Black Towers, no. This is Manchester trying to use mid block. But listen, almost focus on Finfin. Look at that space from the far left. Into Manchester, every time they will try to counter opponent, yeah, echo against them. Into me, you say very good. But to make sure, say, on just spaces for the opponent to use, yeah, they are something very key. But under Ruben Amorim, what about you use the mid block, but there are spaces for opponent to also use and hit Manchester United. Tactically, it also improving. Apart from that, Vincent, we call something the ball-oriented marking.
Okay.
Now, idea about what Vincent check your screen way. Ball call flanks. And MPG across. But about 6 Manchester United players, they are not focusing on the 2 players now. It's a one cut back. No Manchester is vulnerable. I agree say players no embody the system. But Amorim as a coach, tactically also making sure so the new things work in the game no. But based on this evidence, actually clear say Amorim is very, very static on the tactics no. On purpose some. I don't want to add new things to the game. Okay. But I had do and I think say, though the club is of some the history, the players available are not helping, but Amorim as a coach, Vincent, add new things to your game, and I believe say going forward, no, Vincent, so admit this over so Quadia. We're giving up, and nobody can psych someone who has given up. But for me, dear, no, Sonya, because football, dear, but he is too weak on the presser. Press ni bullying do. And yes, many different press conference. I didn't know about Maguire's first night, Vincent. But since I defend back, go and ask Pep on few cry. You must be aggressive to the presser. But I come here say England press no. Only two, I mean, chaos on a branch of friends and I say friends are more.
So far, we shall see press conference. Managers are holding now on your way. One are aggressive to you paying. So far, I do say, well, Pipi and some more cacra.
Oh, once a bit, Uncle Sanchez. Abasa, you must be sharp. Okum say, what the two are no, but we need the air. Man, back could be so bonny. The 1 year was at has a good, you know. Yes, one we are. Oh, I know. Or Piato, or Piato, so you call summer boy. Oh, yes, Rapia, men are cabe 6. Oh, maybe yes, yeah. In the Manchester issue, Vincent. The coach is admitting said, "Onwankas will give you up." Maybe the fans can support him, but I believe say he should go sit back, learn and come good because that's why a young coach, the future is still bright for him. Middle Vincent. Football is something now. In recent times, it is too results oriented. Okay. Inti coaches are almost my titles, no, and I'm for prefer. Inti, so big team ya appointee a coach. They believe in the Pep Guardiola's. The Carlo Ancelotti's and Jose Mourinho's. But the other side of coaching, Vincent, and you're on the spotlight, how influential some coaches can be devoid of titles. Inti, so what checking Marcelo Bielsa, Vincent? Well, coach back, don't use title to judge him. But say more football knowledge, you more football ideas, say invent football tactics, not the amount. And then again, check Ralph Ragnick. Well, coach back, their magic square 4-2-2-2, he introduced them football. But based on how these coaches ain't mean for titles in come game on, they are not recognized as big coaches. Now, Gianni Perugas been Vincent. We coach Bakwa. Want me more be a top title, say be a me Champions League. And I say I'm winning Italian Serie A. But for 5 seasons in the row, Vincent, we qualify Atalanta to the Champions League back to back 5 times. And the interesting thing about him, say he may not give you titles. He may not give you my mouth-watering football. But the idea about him is the ability to bring back dead soul to life is something unique. Apart from achieving this order within Atlanta history, no, say making sure say weak players, let's bring them back to life. No, he does it very well. In the players we Pasalic, Skamaka, Ademola Lookman, and they were dead. He brought them back. But because he's not part of coach's ultimate Champions League, your body and your count. And I think football is unfair because the game is not results oriented. The game is not title oriented. But I believe that at times, let's look at the other side of coaching, devoid of titles and results, from that perspective. Have you seen Vincent? You're under 20, Yeah. It is believed, say, it's supposed to be the feeder club for the Black Stars. Sure. But we as a country, we believe in bogus. Who's that? Yes. Nah. For the past years, Sagana Cotton say presented in the 20 squad. It means a certain fear factor. But we are in a system. We are very good players. We are not going to select them. And now let me follow social media and so. You go keep on. What's the name? Aseko. Aseko. Obise. Oh, who is our benchy? Former house goalkeeper. Agi. Aye. And the more Shaban posting the clinch, don't say I never friend. Then he went there, Vincent. An error of goalkeeping. We are trying home day. But we've seen a goalkeeper confidence go on Nibi. And then again, we are relying on a single player. We know why it means member. We have to fly him in and fly him out just for him to play for us. Listen, are you telling us, say, apart from Jeddah, we don't have any striker, we are the 20 now. Now, so by a league, we more Vincent. We want to do a lot of serious scouting. We have a lot of very good players who can do better than what these people does. Okay. Now, I'm not a Prince to Nibuasem. But I'm not sure so above 20. Okay. You watching this season? Oh, yeah, sure. Or football, Vincent, when the Ben every deadly that Prince to Nibua. Sure. Of Basak. It tells you, say, the moment I ever accept to say the football is not for only the football people, it's for the nation, no, everybody. And getting the right people to always make sure, say, they'll go and lead the flag of Ghana high. Don't forget, say, Ghana, one thing is, say, when they want to sell a player, they give that player the national team jersey to wear. No maneka, unattached you, and the 20 and the 22, oh, yeah, unattached. Then you have the right, the guys to go and play for the 20 for Ghana. Listen, we've seen a lot of players, our man migrated from the 20 and they became great. But listen, ask yourself, say, Africa just a bit my year now.
But as a year, Quania no bianga so.
Listen, yes. Now me say, Desmond of Fair can play say, no one is interfering. Now me say, Yankasa, but say Uncle you be watch. Inti, look, you can have the right. Who win? Yes, yeah, Ghana win. But listen, when you fail, we must let you hear say some things are that you must do it right. So I think say, look, a better than this. Egypt no omunyadio. Omunyadio crack. But we've been able to struggle and play out. Omukran can't share 2 goals. Then we came back. We needed a penalty to make sure we will stop parity. Okay. They call penalty shoot. Listen, what is happening?
As a penalty, don't say yeah.
It shouldn't continue.
And no, it shouldn't continue. And you can say
they should give us a break.
Let's say pyramid.
They should give us a break.
You see, your coaches will fear. You will one more tactical brains. Will fear. And they say, "Team no, you know anyhow. Yeah, no much. That is what twice I don't hook cow. So we'll be yen anyhow. You feel like I think it will be ye.
Selection cry no I never say. Okay. Selection cry. Play back with me born the 20 best of 4 years. Vincent, are they on infinite?
They are shots no 12 years. And I shall say 13, shall say no 15 to meet my wow. Mammy come mine and chain. Not many mine ending come on. And T me call Robert in chain na on also the need a room sa T YouTube no so no about your call Juma de fa ho live na onso wahwe bi Globe TV GH call na onso hwe bi wo ho yes Nti ne atia na yantimi amfa Facebook nti ko YouTube no so I know Globe TV GH na hwe bi Robert
then
20 minutes
then me that say so here football over the years now here the number of coaches our maba game over the past 50 60 70 years now there's no specific position I ever say I had the oba coach untimi nya nti yenya coaches or moye goalkeepers. A typical example of those was Nuno Espirito Santo. Jose Mourinho FC Porto team now they call Champions League no Nuno Espirito Santo na no the assistant goalkeeper dem that particular team. Until he was a goalkeeper, but he's been able to come out and then make sure say why no way. Then you get defenders our monso ababe coaches omanya omo niemani. You talk about Vincent Company, you talk about Ronald Koeman. These were guys playing from the back. Our monso gradually omawura coaching system no have father mom. Antonio Toto Conte was from the deep midfield, the defensive side of the midfield. Then you go up, you talk about the likes of Pep Guardiola, Carlo Ancelotti, also from the midfield. You also get attackers, also Eddie coaching a game no Fipo Inzaghi no guso omuye adwuma kakra. But what department Sauba? Ya na nipa jitu mpasa you can be a top class manager as the midfield. Because you need a very big IQ to be able to understand the game itself and then be able to do your things very well. But even in the midfield, there's also a particular role. I friend the deep line playmaker. Say Kasi will be a deep line playmaker. Listen to what Jumani say in a defense in him, but you are not a defensive midfielder. What Juma say no free defense no. You have very good passing ability. Say ball no down no. I didn't say be press wa je ball na free ho. Secondly, baby our person also my ball ko bia ball no timi ko duru ho. Until you decide whether we should play through the right, you decide whether the team should play through the left, you decide whether you want to go long or you want to involve in short passes. And when I say utimi ye ni ya, you can say you are dictating the tempo of the game. Into deep line playmaker biano, wo first duty ni say team ni person ya de ball no koy anim from the defenser. Only ye hwehwe na ye pia ball no dem out. And when you have the ball, your duty is to make sure say obetimi locate your teammate wherever they are on the field of play. And during his playing days, Vincent, one of the best deep line playmakers over the past few years, he was Xabi Alonso. Say ye general defense and him ye ball ni teaming some passes. Now go to the right destinations. Let's dictate the tempo and the fluidity of the game. Xabi Alonso really did it well. Go check Andre Pirlo days. Our AC Milan and Juventus. He was a typical deep line playmaker. Now listen, Adiba Akoni says, "Uncle, for the no my drain so." Inti so obeye coach aye jitum say, "Inti ase na o game no no, obetimi de aboa the other players no mo won asena ma ball no metimi aboni." In recent years, there's one guy who normally you using as a deep line playmaker, but he's still playing. Your friend Mralem Pjanic. Obi Ahwe Pjanic. In the next 10-15 years, obey coach, you see the kind of work he's going to do. These are players, game and they are able to understand how things work. Now, ever since Xabi Alonso before Jumano 2024-2025 season with Bayer Leverkusen, Vincent, we about 34 games with a 3-back and about 13 games with a 4-back. It tells you, say, in terms of rotating between the two systems, he's a guy who is able to do that job really well. Now, no Panama no can a backroom staff on us. And I catch said there's one from Argentina, 2 from Catalonia, and Omo Babe Canho, Ama Omaya Jumano. The days from Bayer Leverkusen up to this time, Jitum so Babe Jumadiama Real Madrid Football Club. Now, if you want to be a coach, listen, Coach Bia is influenced by Nkofo Oma coaching the pain, if only he really played the game before. And Pep Guardiola, ne influence onya from Johan Cruyff no. Listen, or the Sadia no, Ababe Juma build a dynasty among who are a lot of people who see how they free the home. There was a time a Pep called Johan Cruyff fear Kofa and more are already doing in science or man. This is a guy who really wanted to learn from the manager. And Xabi Alonso was fortunate enough to have played under so many good coaches. Obiawa a different idea in terms of football. This is Xabi Alonso and Rafa Benitez. Now listen, Obiawa a under Benitez Biano. He does not appreciate anybody. Steve Gerrard see he waited for over 2 years just to receive "you have done well" Bakupe from Rafa Benitez Wanyabi. No matter how good you play, he will still find a way to tell you there's something you should have done in the game. That is his star. He has also worked under Jose Mourinho. Listen, check Jose Mourinho so how he is able to get the best out of players. He's not the best of man managers. But say, let's tell you to be able to perform. Jose is one of the best you can get. Or the somewhere eto tena bencha eto kwana oko panicha say coach mami mobi or say debi. You are not at the top level to play for me. So before they could get to the top with Inter Milano, now eto aye Juma to a point say Jose dropping enye. That is Jose Maria dos Santos, Felix Mourinho for you. Then you talk about Carlo Ancelotti, not the best of tacticians, but also in terms of man management, he's very good at that. And also, Xabi Alonso has been able to learn, play under him to get a lot of ideas or their kind of coaching systems. No one can cry, or they call him. Now, after the 2014 Champions League final, and Xabi catch Madrid for say, when you call from Pep Guardiola or Bayern Munich, now he will be willing to learn from Pep Guardiola to try and then build up his future in becoming a coach. Into a moment, the club now opportunity and in terms of possession, listen, tactical obsession. Obio is so obsessed with tactics. Hey, Pep Guardiola. Frank Ribery said there was a time I was at 2 a.m. Now Pep a friend I catch and say, look, me say what down no man or the better Mr. with a fetch a few minutes. The material say a course and the obey and no obey. You have to change it obey the for 2 a.m. no rain I.
Me are coming far. Dama 2. Over cheme tactics.
Say coach afro.
No 2 over cheme tactics.
Gaffer.
What dama dey chena
There be what that saying.
That's what that saying.
Oh no. He's so obsessed. Obetimi adwene amade ache for just a game.
When you say and so cost no 2021.
Oh yes, sometimes a cost no overthinking. Etimi bam. Emma obeko game no na normal kwatia paso. But look, he's a guy who really believes in the game now. We need to plan. I was see a shisha normal. Nanka 2 a.m. they will throw biaje day. Actually said yeah, training and no panel. And yeah, no na game no makoye. I need to give you a different role to be able to perform based on opponent and also the man who on a home. Your biggest problem, partner, that's and listen, Xabi Alonso has been able to learn from this man also. Until the one on what they are building a system. After learning from all these managers, he went to Fabio Capello, he went to Juan Manuel Lillo, Juan Manuel Pellegrini, Juma, and then Marcelo Bielsa and so on. And on what they are building it here. Into Obama Madrid under 14s. Eddie Omobe call unbeaten. 23 games, he won 22 and he drew just one. And OJ title. But in that team, main team, so he needed to go around. Okorisu said that be and Okupi Leverkusen and he's coming back to Real Madrid Football Club. Now, this is what Xabi Alonso believes in. Listen, from the back, Xabi Alonso, a goalkeeper, or composed. No, team in build-up. But he's not required to be a ball playing specialist. Until Ederson Modi Enibi. And yet goalkeepers are born no betimid and I pepia Andrew Namudiana or Guayana Quatia Fasun Yenubidi. So you hear through one and say, Sabon no be do how betimia pass it. Now betimia position who ye just to help the back line and then progress the ball. And in this situation, I think Thibaut Courtois will be able to fit into that. A woman send the ball playing a band is on longer, I know struggle be brave. But of late, while I Thibaut in the Madrid goal post Biano, you get to know that gradually he's improving in terms of the passing abilities. And it is what Xabi Alonso really needs. And so I be a Thibaut Courtois than go na duna. A bad in so be in a film now for goalkeeper for the at this stage. So he's likely to stick with Thibaut Courtois and make sure so the never twaso. Now in terms of the centre back, Xabi Alonso pay a traditional middle centre back. Listen, to be a team ball as a sweeper. I'll be the last man. And I'll be able to, sweep out every danger I bet Tramon ever bad the back line also. And I think Antonio Rudiger will be a good fit for that. Still, pushes a club known for Jonathan Tamra. Because he was the guy out in the years Edmond or Bayer Leverkusen. But I don't see that deal actually going through. So maybe he would have to stick with Antonio Rudiger to do that job for him. Now the outside centre backs, the middle centre back, you're the left centre back, which is the main progressor of the ball. In the reason why the ball so when they are building from the back, making sure they want to progress, it is the duty of the left centre back. So in the days Oliver Cousin, Edmond Tapsoba, or the nearest Edgeman. And the Tapsoba, the Benkumun Fabo, no, they drive it to the midfield. Try to release other players. But that is where Alonso may have a problem. Because in that position, listen, they are not mostly left-footed players to be able to do that job really well for you. But in the Madrid backline, apart from Selbenya Fela Mendy, it will be difficult for you to get someone who plays with the left foot in the Madrid backline. That is why they are out of the market looking for a centre back. Now you move to the right side, then you but you will be able to cover the right side and make sure the dangerous situations be a bebano. You try to curb it. Why is it going to be so? You do wing backs and you are really going to understand why the right centre back no any kwan so okona ni bebre. In that situation, listen, the Militao were bought as a right back pain. Then you talk about Raul Asensio, and the days were Castellano, he was being deployed as a right back. And these two can occupy this position and make sure that they are club. Now you go to the wing backs. The right wing backs operate very high, often becoming Alonso's right winger. Into the opening Faso as the right wing back, that is why it is the duty of the right centre back to operate almost as a full back on the right side. To cover the spaces now, the right wing back now. So in that situation, say Jeremy Frimpong ja achiren hona so okona anymore. The likes of Kosunu Mojuman say, Omoba try no more close the spaces now. Oka Kosunu another Nini Papa. Then you talk about the left wing back. Listen, you are going to hold the weight, but you also have a complete role, much more involved in possession, and sometimes you need to drop back. Into Alejandro Grimaldo, the Juma Oyo system, say, Onom Kona Nimbe to say the Jeremy Frimpong Kono. All the attacks normally channels through the right side. But with the left wing back, your duty is to involve in possession, especially in the midfield. Drifting, or you can say the inverted midfielder, no, you need to move in and then try to create numbers in the midfield part of the game. I feel some movie they call the center midfield now. Listen, he will need a controller, a number 6. I'll bet him at defense and no control Niama anchor Niama. This is where Anchor Tony Cruz be very useful for him. But the Ura Nisebo no Jabo, Yentim for Sonko Fanema. So it will be the duty of Aurelien Chouameni. That is why he was, rooting for Martin Zubimendi. So Monko Fanemra Madrid team just to help in that particular role for him. Sent a Dawson, a lot of that. But let's move right into how Alonso tries to operate in his games and also said the normal sequence. The team no chemi, you're the front 5 and the back 5. I can't be saying.
7.
Hey. Listen, Oche team too. The back 5 and then the front 5. Back 5, na Jumani say, na make be about the rest defense. In as much as you are attacking, you need to also think about the defense. Into the residue, the rest of the players now who do much say the bear ball not first or may one Jumama on the rest defense. So he leaves 5 at the back, not 5 on Soko front. 5 for where Chirana Jumani said they are progressing the ball to the 5 in a anymore. And again, their main duty is to stop any possible counter attacker. Vincent Ebeba. Into the back 3 plus the 2 midfielders. Now wing backs and also a BMCO. Then with the 2 other midfielders, now when you're striker now Okahono. Into 5 up front, 5 at the back. Now moving from this, he always wants the front 5 to act as the pressers. When I'm under pressure, to opposition so. And when you have the ball, it's your sole duty to say, so in this situation, you can see the 5 up front and they say, opposition trying to build from the back. And it's their duty to put pressure on the opposition, win back the ball, and then try to make sure say Omube initiate attack na Omakwakofa go diaba. So it's really going to be an interesting system na Xabi Alonso deba. But you ask yourself, say, Real Madrid with a back 3, is it really going to succeed? And now, Vincent, in the back 5 and then the front 5, the leader back. The leader in the back 5 near Granit Xhaka. Emrana or by Leverkusen. Why? Because he has that experience. And the body said Xhaka should pass under pressure. He's top notch. So more the pressure ban so but he should remain composed and be able to link up with the attacking third or the midfield. No, not Oyese Jumani Yepa. The leader of the front is also Florian Wirtz. Inti a chile no leader ho ono na anchor omo chile ni nyina ena nimu nso wo bia ono so anchor nimu fo ni nyina. So the back 5 na ho no, all your movement should be based on the movement of Granit Xhaka, and then the front so all your movement should be based on the movement of Abrante friends of Florian Wirtz. So I was talking about the pressure now opponent never took Granit Xhaka so that he will be so composed to be able to locate the spaces and then try to put the ball inside. And if you check this situation now, so Granit Xhaka pick ball and the first option Florian Wirtz. Anytime, that is his first option. Because the more Florian Wirtz drop here receive ball not the rest of these 4 also position on who just to try to get spaces behind the defense. So one pass and about kill the opponent, and as a fullbacks and the BM now omage the passes from there. So this is it. It has always been the 2 of them. Granit Xhaka, Florian Wirtz. That is the main situation that they always try to do. In this situation, listen, Adegula is the guy who can be used as Granit Xhaka because under pressure he's so calm and composed. Jeffrey Chire now about the pass and but who we are. You ask yourself, say, who is going to be Florian Wirtz? Maybe Jude Bellingham. He may be the guy or also be active in that situation. But ideally, listen, a Jumana Granit Xhaka and a Jumana Florian Wirtz here in Adegula also any. But he wouldn't be able to do this job and also do the other one. So it will be in the best interest of the coach to choose between the two. Say, Xhaka Jumana na me pesa oye, and how so say obeko ani mu no akwa say Jumano ade amam. Listen, he's not aggressive at all.
So you talking about Granit Xhaka? What kind of Arsenal?
Yeah, yes. Switzerland. He's very aggressive.
Why do you want Alonso to use Adegula?
But in this situation, it has nothing to do with aggression.
But nipa na obobo no bo ne ya o kana sem.
Yeah.
Oh, aggression on the mood.
And I make sure say sometimes someone can have certain qualities, but in the situation you don't need him to use that.
They won't apply that kind of aggression.
In terms of progressing the ball, you don't need to put any aggression in it. Okay. It's just about how calm you are and how you are able to, execute what you are supposed to do under pressure. That is the situation here. Maybe in terms of say or acting to help in defense now become awesome. But progressing the ball,
once I progress the ball, the ball is I'm for bears or may watching.
Of course. So what other goal in the last few games now, or man opportunities are more Bobina, especially the Classico where he came from the bench. So he's a spectacular guy in terms of holding the ball under pressure and making sure so the ball not got the right destination. He'll be very useful. Don't forget, say, I'm not Naja be Oliver Kusi, no, he says I could have waited then. Send call the funny loan. And I'll say the beyond call. The clubs actually agreed. Then the player said he's not going to move. Okay. So this time, our coach in Asaba, I believe that one player will be so useful under the Xabi Alonso system is going to be Adagule. Listen, we'll get time to come and then try to explain a lot more with the fullbacks. Do you know that all of a sudden, Trent Alexander-Arnold signing Nasa making sense?
Okay.
Because now you can't say anymore. Actually, obey spaces were in the 4-back system. But this is a coach. He does not give too much defensive duties to Jeremy Frimpong. Sure. Try to organize the defense. And this will be where Trent Alexander-Arnold is going to be so useful for Madrid for. So
no strength, no.
Yes. Young and until 65 assists in the Premier League, a fullback until he's coming in to try to, augment what Kylian Mbappe and Vinicius Junior will be giving to the team. Until from the right side, the cross is near a pinpoint, and the band is a young fabon to these two players. So any more box, you know what to expect. Okay. Until all of a sudden, Trent Alexander-Arnold and so signing and make sense. But you go to the left side, who is going to be Grimaldo? It's also another difficult thing. Fela Mendy no Jina Chiruha Kokotako, Oko anymore Nyadi, Frank Garcia and so on and off player. So they still need to get a left backer. So to Baba Bueno anymore, so near my Baby Kuy.
Oh yeah. Fela Mendy.
No, he's a very good defensive fullback. But say I'm far born queer nimnidie. Oh, I change na Kofi. And yet.
But Nancy must move people. Move free to do.
Yes, I wanted to address that issue. Vincent, no question. Yes.
More on the say and say, be able to move China panic of fear.
No question, pay woman say. Sikani, Hiana or Mecantia.
Oh, and you know, Mecan.
Kaya told about Sikani to one unica pre.
But Obian is always car.
Obian is always car.
But I hear no.
But the Sika, Yano maybe as or two says yes, can you know? Yes, can you own Tim Mecca? Oh, Mecca, no, I did. So we say, you know who are waiting for Obiso. Oh, Chairman, and then they say, no, friend. Yes. Indeed, Madrid team neither honor. Send almost come meeting at top players. But you check the financial rules and all those things. When was the last time they actually sold a player? It was Casemiro, seasons ago. And in football, you had the Scaba. If they make a mistake, maybe I know who about a situation no movie. That is why Florentino Perez is just trying to be smart. But Aqua say made them swag by Joe Girl and team. But in terms of say Sika that how the movie. But what to spend and make sure that financial rules no match. That is what they are trying to meander their ways around. Alright. This can't share any horse.
Osman. My remember chain na Mintio. Okay. America kaka.
Mate.
Yeah man, I'm trying to be what you want. America kaka me ba. Answer.
You back there.
I there.
My ancient Ghana for the break. Present, my name come on me based on Luca, Senebea, young football. And when he I was here, you come and pinning for so any bang will be brave. As I say, be a or more dear names of football people, Eddie football economy. Say, Yana, ye car, metano, young car. There will be a time Ghana for boy so what I say, and the cram for me fresh, some trouble, Moka who be not just say, Mama be a Ghana football in Koye, my best spend the time I can foreign football once some sa, not look at football like a crabby. And the cram for us I say, eh, boy so ball, and who be here say, Nena no one Koye, no, ye come and pinning 40. Maybe shall say can some way. Namino, many one than in a TIE Sports Arena, and the Nika so. Coach F. Desmond of Fay, Obian to me influence and selections. Now, because that be me nka se pudu nsi no mu no
e
hye bedinedwo but before say ye bomb pa say enhye no yen support om no mo nkonko tournament mu bo enwie omu wie na say koyi a fine but ankoyi dia ye betwe sika na ya de ne papa ne hu de enti anya de enti ankoyi listen tournament we ba be kono e ka be 3 weeks ama ya tournament no apart from Ghana all the 11 nations no biad in squad ba bonten no biad dia ba bonten already apart from Ghana there ye started AFCON no boy ye bo group F when they can bomb first 2 matches wie before say Ghana the neighbor bonten team man na dey take Ghana for ehun team ahodo a and players are dey omo no ankon kosiaga because na feel so this squad this year the nke bia nke the bulldozers bi na nke dey ye dey omo tournament na sana ye tiku na dey omo ye dey na dey omo ko
tiku
yes what I say na me dream say dey bi na ko sana tiku na dey omo ko because we are this year listen so bi to car bi ane board ni a ho ya na obo ho ban person ko for better action no ma bebre once na say ye we down hoy oi omo ye gate no omo din be bo ho so what I say and man no omo dey ade kata so ehu hia no ento person man for be den amam for be hu ento udi see sa na say important e de ma enti ye dey squad this year no Ghana for fi so ye dey see dey ne ba bonte na eja o mu pa sana we mu a
ai bi dey me say me nyanya ka fofora ese mo ba ko me nyanya ba ka ho a sada me na o
yeah what I say enti ebi no enti Vincent ye dey squad this year na Ghana for expect say ba bonte na yemba no na e fi senka emre die na e squad ya Ghana obi akoma be den e bejo so and ade ba ko no say ama Ghana fan kasa bebre a squad ne ba bonte no say amantem tama e ba no na anya ade afa na eweko tutum ntukruntukra aka say we deserve we nye say da bi squad na amantem because the squad we ba bonte a bia kan sama Ghana for be ka no desmond of yan ko be resign class on tournament no because squad we nya squad na Ghana ne bia abebajo so say squad we nti we na dey omoko we are ne squad ye wo man we mu ana Ghana in place ahodo okrom ha no omo mo abroche nti we are na ebetim di akọ we na ebetim di akọ ana nti ama bonten e ba bonten na late say Ghana for be kan wasem because na jumadi na asha ase da crab my offense Egypt listen e ba yen so no ye who plays bebre na wo mu even before this kind of saying selection we be no me nya kwan any place bebre na di nkomo aye from our camp Vincent ye someone ba fie with no reasons and on ba fie ye omo nim de nti omo free mo ba fie and e bi kwa only be di nkomo omo a or ye from the omo tournament Vincent say what na social mu din a e ka me say wona won papa wo efe ho football people when ya select on players dem dey dem tournament listen I thought am yan kan crunch here ye permanent football ni yi so open here since I get ba say GFA president listen under wa chief pa no under 20 so what stadia ye wa hanom kokoji 2021 afcon yam kojiri ma ye 2020 before 2020 one ma je wafu under 20 ye san tia no mo sa je African Games under 20 sade ma ye both on any man nyina nti Vincent bibi wa chief pani under 20 enti hona manfo ani adan abaso
na say achievement no ba bia aba under cat no under 20
under 20
is a man for diabetic
hona attention wo
okay
because club say pe players ni na pe Ghanaian players ni no say hwan na abo under 20 team no hwan na ya ade no hwan say Saudi ka squad no na nya bia mompo a ye pe players o mo call tournament na Saudi ka ho bi e mausa mileage no de utim de ko anim enti Vincent hona attention na be gina sisi yi hona yen channel players in fanfa
it is all making sense at this moment
so what you say hona yen channel players in fanfa na man for meje on for monko esi a free blasters and Vincent before so we mran say eno na Ghana for nyina akoma enti oman hu say no omon timi insan Ghana for hu say nko for player bi amfa nko blaster bi because player do blaster Vincent already no obetimi aton enti say under 20 ehona squad na yeden ehona yede omofa yemu say hu say ebra CAF for release Ghana yan squad no 2 players no me on attach under 20 players are on attach only experience or sansa and omo team omo hwe na tournament before say GFA omo de ne ba ye and pay teams share boys nanim so I just say and to say ye na say be ka say dey say e be developer man na Vincent enye ye because say the attention na kwa na 20 so ho de ye the players for bet matter omo sika wo benya sika o but o man na ye nyina hwe say football be koyi no enkoyi listen see a team parody you can say be 20 players for an AFCON na be ye nya local players omo won betimi dominate omo Vincent na ye ha ka say de maye because yet Kroma ye Ghana Premier League am penim for na wom kwa na amkocha amako disappoint ya ye won krankra bi a o start out himself no makoye mo hwe division 1 hwe players ahodo mu se goals our division 1 nim hwe yen goalkeeping department na da ni cancer season we no season of goalkeepers but say ye ko tournament na ye goalkeeper back on attach na be we akopɛ club amana dia Vincent na era who bebre e wa bra goalkeepers ya bu hwe you na post for keeper yi small boy oda Ghana Premier League and today be na onye biem onkwada Barcelona and Spain afena na ane onkwada Real Madrid and Spain afena no and when anoma bi avisen and the player na say we are no what kwan okọ Ethiopia okọ Senegal okọ Kenya na afena football na aba be basa de ama no ye best friend penim for say enoma we na omo ye no emo ama development in cost ye o ye nkroma say and Vincent e pese akwa chiri kakra Kakumi nkosha asem free 1993 na yen hwade listen ye the 18 players ene kokko 1993 ay AFCON ye kokko GM first time under 20 AGN AFCON listen so hwemu a first 4 players on the list na local best players
first 4 players
no local best players ene ebinya player obo Anderlecht ebinya player obo Torino Anderlecht player listen na ayo Abranti fence Isaac Asari from Anderlecht hwe club no free ba no what the players be free Europe ne bae ne mo hwe club no free air ba no listen we no free wa ebinya Mohamed Gago from Torino and obaye New Plan Stars krom ha ye don player koi listen ye nya player no ebo Gold Stars Augusta Hemfo and a legend e de maye no club go face Elsabe Asante Good listen ye binya player no obo Dynamo Bucharest Nelson Mensah ono so Europe yesa binya Torino player biem Emmanuel Dua la show obekochi club FS Asgold Vincent me bobo we nyina no ho 8 out of 18 no yenya players 10 anomi local best players 10 players anomu si aka we krom ase 18 squad na dem ko yo 18 players na ko but enyamu 10 makoma ko edu
they will koshi Asgold na Thomas Dua
medalse Vincent ono anasa team edi ko yi 18 players no ye the 10 in the free krom ade ko yi makoma ko 10 1993 coach fence osam de dunu do mo yedan edi o mo ko yi ye the 10 good players free krom ko yi eno che osampa na ye league ni wo soro enti abrabia se yentim enya players in free krom anko na se league no empenifo mu league ni kra o se de kokko ye ye enya players in free krom anfo ma anko na se empenifo mu ye league na ye bo no krom ase Vincent we 1993 squad ye de o mo ko yi ni Vincent ye san free ho na ye hwa de 1999 Ghana sa kwaji under 20 AFCON biem ye hwa de he plays a good TV so hwe Vincent ye 18 players na ko ye but hwe bebia obia efria ofria ne club akokko under 20 team no Vincent inya Sami Ajay House of Folk inya Abranti e fe ne say Abdul Isa no or Belgium eno free baye inya Aziz Ansa Napoli eno free baye inya Abranti e fe say Abdul Razak Ebisua Drafts no yeden eno free baye inya Steven Apia Tornado Udinisi eno free baye wo de check we kwakoma next picture no ne hwe teams ahodo as ha boys we free yeden e ba be ball e ma ye ana 20 team no eno kire wo say then time cross on free onye local best player Vincent na obok top team e wo Europe means some near 2 sana ya amfana free local team e wo kroma se ya ho na obok team a e top team wo Europe enti ne wo obi obo Napoli awo en squad nim ye wo obi obo Udinisi awo en squad nim ye wo obi obo Olympiacos check sa teams we mo na afia fa House of Folk ya fa Asante Kotoko ya fa Great Olympics players e dey attach no mo tournament no enti Vincent ye kwa one game no na etimnya bia look 7 local best players start one game e dey maye enti no che say understanding wo because omo bo local league no in terms of anhodin ometimi abo and check players omo free Europe e be kan ho no in terms of anhodin obi ade so wo soro bebre and no che say there was a time when a local league no e produce players maya and national teams ni na under 17, under 20, under 23, young blasters no nansen and kofu be mu a even young goalkeeping department nanka hodi nanka ni how bia because na a local best players na me aside akoda mu some hu dey cycle because na no a local best players na dey o me den ye dey o mo bon Vincent yen free ho na yen san kwa anim yen hwe 209 squad na kokko G under 20 AFCON before some World Cup no ye kan G under 20 AFCON no
Oh yeah, sure.
Before see call World Cup no. 18 players and dey omkoye na emu 11 local based players. 11 out of 18.
Wow.
Our book say Liberty Professionals, a benya player from Philippompon from Brekum Arsenal. Omunyano emu den ewuram de omkoye. Way before say the year ko World Cup no. It can't budge Afcon Okroma answer. Yet my next picture, a team won so I dey World Cup. Listen, 21 players no, na emu makoma 11. Bezu Ghana Kroma say. 21 players, emu 11 Okroma ha. So what you say? And this is a tournament. Kwa kupita mnesa no na anu ade omode ko ye fa no mame. Say ye tournament. Na say players ade omko ye Vincent. Teams omo bo no, omo mfi Kroma, teams omo boyi team papa bia Europe na some komo sanya bi mumpa. Eno ye proud ana. He team se gusu ya nkra firi mu ba ye ombese ko tournament. Vincent, e team papa ben pa na wo sa ayiwe mu. De ono ko Barcelona Vincent onya tani kwa anya o. La Masia onya bi mo
Dream Steps nye team papa.
Mecha Vincent. Atoda ho.
Medium anya team papa.
O team papa player of your koye no. Onimbo chen this guy bi oklu or atese Brekum Chelsea. Yes. Brekum Chelsea. Hono wo. One guy ewo Basake Holy Stars. Small boy bi. Prince Chelebua. Omunimbo chen na. What do you say? Visit Omunimbo chen no.
Okay.
Keep an eye on here on attach no. Onim da chen Masaud no da yon apostle na.
So has on attach be anyone. Na so
when ye na meka madi ka chirem. The calf di ma ye no. Wo ba search na the calf di ma ye no. Two play be a fan say am Muhammad one no. Listen, we on attach nye afi we. Na ya ma no a nice Mahama FCB. What do you say?
I say Ibrahim Mama team na.
Listen,
Ibrahim Mama ba.
Ya bi okrom ha o.
Ono kwese wa Mobi da.
Oh, Bobby, second game no Bobby. I think it's the last game no so Bobby. O free bench be Bobby.
Ene wo box magumu abi.
Listen,
because should anye integral.
Na enwa ye ho chiri yi. Ene ye player bia na nke betunya kwa betunya boy e pa na nkoti bench kwa.
What is Ibrahim Mama o team?
Minim so o team but akwa ko ye listen. Nti na nko ya ade pa nko betuna bench. Enko ya ade pa nke be sa president Jerry free call logo no enka won san mra biem. Eto de ade nwa na nke po be bobo na ase no anan kwa ma ebo amaye. So what you say? Yenye o pass side nim film. Na ye hwe ye football na nkasa mu. Enti ye dey say the players ahodo a eto dey dey o metimi akon age e. Hwe division no ayi guy bi wo atin say ayi se manyina o aroti yo. Enti listen, defenders ben bi o na be sa etimagina sa boy na nim.
Manyina dey wonyini won na.
Listen.
Onye nkola o
na ayi Makati Ofori. Ofori Makati and o committee mistakes ahodo ma mu say yi. Obo wonders also 15 years. Makati Ofori Tom obo wonders kwa check we ade. Tom obo wonders also under 22 nyo bi ade o. Ai Ghana obi a onimbo obo bia ne dia. Akra bi onimbo obo kroma bia no. National team ne dia. Makati Ofori nkwa abo national team ne sire no esel. Omo abo mo team develop nkwohwe. Ye fa tournament di bia kroma sa two boys minim ohwan team no mo dia na mo dia. Omo dia man kan kire na yenye omo din boy.
Enyo mo dia.
Enyo mo dia den tia omo nya ade.
They just want ya.
Listen, entin ye onim say e bi tu mienu e na no Egypt for no shey nra.
Over McCarthy na ASL.
Yes. Bi tu mienu na ma omo nra e lose game no. Because we mun experience players e wo mo team ni mo. Check team ni hwe and 20 aye ko J Afcon no mienu ka ho bi. From 2021 abesi 2025 mugu so born under 20.
And they say Osman the composition of the under 20 male team no yenye na sign. Say kwan ben so na yemfa because per what you are saying no it looks like say yen should am for the right materials envanko is yen na saying yen share division 1 ni yempe young chaps a metima bo yen share premier league no obi a wo premier league or experience what that kind of age level no ni yemfa no nko yen keepers ni yempe quality yen consult former footballers no mompe sa kind of players be e league mum fam man wan na ye ni omo ngasa no mum pesa ade ne man because look as if say squad ne crab ba bon de hu ye ya na ba
listen
ne ye kono yakwa ye nyene den
me no tie se ya ka kire ho say ya ka kire ho say omo di football na nim no enim kan e be fa some football na ye ya na mo di entro omunim pa but once ya sabio obi yen akokɔ na onko we kotra ne nko ade enama na ye hu de ye hu
sa
omunim kan fa say football be ye so bi ka kire say esko na ho nim say ye players akɔ under 17 a yenye national scout na yɛn pɛ players na yɛn nsɔne so na yɛn fɔ ɔmo nkɔ prampram na yɛn kɔ training ɔmo na ɔmo anam kakra na ɔmo kɔ na 20 ɔmo nim ana
Okay.
ɔmo nim pa
Okay.
listen I didn't tell ɔmo limit to say ye best scout e be no krom nko a ɔmo mo krom kuto no mo nya den ye kɔfa player listen ɛtɔ da ho yɛ na mmobɔ player bi betuma twa kwan from abia mamemfa asamwe so example
Okay.
no abakuma say justify listen ye be ɔmɛduru no e kɔbra ya fa obi kɔbra listen ɔbɛte no natim no ɔprampam ye training dada kra do ɔno wɔ krokuto ma akɔ ye kɔ justify ye fa no ye so ye kɔ ababɛte en kan listen na nim na ne ho so no na other players no prampram kroma me no ti listen ye o players bi wo ho a ɔmo nkɔ ye friend bi na 17 ye friend 200 players akɔ prampram kɔ ye kwasone so ebi nkobi oni de ne se ɔte hɔ wo twɛn se be sone so a na makɔ fra na de makɔ tournament
Okay.
nti ye de o krom ha no ye ɔte hɔ twɛn se ye be sone ntebiri so afiri mu akɔ si do oni mbɔ na so nso akɔ yo so nkɔ tena fi na ɔno ɔmo to saa no we ye nya ya ye football no ntimi nya yi se pese football ye yi a saa ɔmo a mo scout ma ya ɔmo de hɔ ayem kokoko na ko ɔmo kokoko aso de bia no Vincent ye nya ɔmo mfiri hɔ na ye man kɔfo betimi ayama ye hwɛ coach defenders man of ye be wie ya be ka so Ghana ntimi an qualify for World Cup nti bi ye nya no kama ne nkɔ adwuma bi wa Vincent oh yeah adwuma bi ya untimi nka mu nsɛm yise wa ye den yise wa wie ana betima ka wo de ne
See as a minka.
so ka adwuma mu nsɛm ne
Intimi.
untimi nka yise bi ya da ache bi na otwere buku a na wo de ahyem enti sana coach ntie so they say and then ekwakulus no se e pam na onka hwe kura o ono anim enti da na meka da ni say da ni nya abotre pa say o mutimi influence no o nya abotre because listen
Like is in the Kasai, oh guy.
yes
Agro football nango yo Kasai.
Look, I wasn't saying say influence no. Look, Obabontin be kind. I was saying from Nuko not but me I know what is going on.
What do you say? Ewiase nyina ho. Ewiase nyina. Team a metati sasan pass influence me Ghana nko a. Your national teams no. Coach dey fa omo a. Omo ta kasa asem ne pa. Ukoma do dey kasa asem no ho. Chelsea kasa asem no ho. Ukobasa kasa asem no ho. But e Ghana ha. Enti the moment on na be boss ye nye say no. Na say ye but ontimi nka ho asem. O kita when say ye no. But once we coach in kontimi nya den. Ontimi nka ho asem. And I did Timo Kruger.
Can we try some Richie goalkeeper with my friend and say how good is he at penalties? But I'm so new online. I don't know.
Listen,
none of them are bunny national.
Penalties there, me say a keeper. Maybe I mean new ones and me.
Penalties will be to me.
Keeper be no.
What you see?
Enti anra ye pon game no. And I did for sign and be weird. Obi ba so
better. Goalkeeper now the penalties. No them na. Kitik so check.
And I'm just say enti ono we expect wasua ya hye no e was a level no wasua when odeba ye de Vincent ye hunu aso na ye no kroma say and adeba konso ne say coaches ya mo handle ye under 19 under 15 under 1 Vincent omo peja omo modimonim training how do amodima boys Vincent enye 11 ye dem tournament ometima deliver dia maye hwe no a ball na boys ne boy no me nka se bia omo anya ade o omo boy to the highest level but the moment omo hu se no e was say me ye ne bro na aye over Tama yehu say was say me ani bre no. Na Egypt for na say 2. Because say we check Egypt for no